When it comes to loss and our attempts at finding the words are never just enough. There is a scarcity of adequate human language to interpret our void, but we try anyways. And that is why I'm back here, back on home soil. BOHS is an offering to my birthplace. It is homage to a geographical space I called home for my first 6 years. But more than that, it is a calling on residents to moonwalk into memory. They call it remembrance. I call it a visual collage commissioned by Laws. It is me saying, partake, feel, this is what you gave me, and I bring it back to you, raw material returned in fine form. I've always wondered about the utility of art in the rural space. What does it mean to the indigenous man? Is this familiar memory? How does he react to it? I mean, he sees this as remembrance, but is that all it is? Where is this taking him? Is this an ephemeral excitement, and does he lose the excitement when he gains hunger? How does this experience help him assimilate his own account of losses?
You say you were praying. You never stop praying. Are you still praying? I think you still praying. Please keep praying.
Having the people engage in and with the whole process was a full circle moment. Seeing what it does to them. How does this work exist in this familiar space? And how does it connect with the people? The people who knew the subject of my exploration and who still very much, unlike me, exist in the space she once occupied.
The man wouldn't let me into the church until I told him the grandson of whom I was, a nephew to the auntie of the mother. Until I showed him your frame. At the sound of your name, they flung the door wide open. There I learned how important genealogy is. Dead people name still opens door.
Ernest tells of a lady who shaves her head every year in memory of her late father. At your passing, I asked for your blanket. I have it. I have tried other means of bleaching this dark into daylight, or finding the nearest in remembrance. 1. I trim up people's toes. 5. I kept the last piece of clothing you gave me. 9. I captured the inferno that swallowed our home. 26. I wear crucifix rings and bracelets. 33. I photographed your husband. 37. I gasp for breath. 42. I go up a pinch of salt before I say your name. 49. I fell in love. 55. I rent mothers to feel a sense of ownership. 60. I still use kernel oil. 83. I call church offerings collection. 79. I inhaled your last breath. 100. Nothing really dies. It just metamorphoses into another form of existence. So I don't speak of you as dead. I speak of you as late, as she'll be back soon, as sorry for the break in breathing, as don't tell me sorry, as she's awake in the Lord, as she lives in me. He that has seen me has seen Margaret. As late, as in yet to be here.
At tender age, I never saw death as demise. I saw death as a prank, a temporal absence, a stunt the deceased would pull only to return a couple years later. I do not know if that was denial in disguise, but it helped then. My grandma died on the 1st of April. As coincidental to my belief as that may sound, it keeps me thinking she kept the Bifrost open in hopes for a possible return. Maternal grandfather is the last parenting figure in my biological lineage, and over the years I watch him slowly transcend into ancestry. He himself has had his share of losses, lost wives, lost children, lands. He is currently hard of hearing, and right now he fights with memory. I think he's winning. He has a journal as old as 1970, his book of records. On the back page is a register of wives, the children that bore him, the grandchildren that came after, and their dates of birth. I often wonder how the old cope with loss, when the owners of names she wrote down no longer exist. None of us thinks of demise. Is that the reason there's no death colon on the journal? Do we seek to live forever? Is the finality of life, young or old, a conversation we're yet ready to have? Is the journey of a thing even complete when there is no end? My grandfather calls me minutes after strenuously searching for something. I do not know what it is. He finds it. He shows me. It is my mother's date of birth. I know the dirt date.
That is 70.
1970.
No, she was born on Saturday. That's what I was looking for.
Looking for. A friend says grief leaves everyone behind. She ruminates on her words and goes, grief leaves no one behind. It shows in the way grief sows a fracture in memory. Recollections once pristine are now defiled by absence. The emptiness fills the room. It permeates thorough and through. Like leaking light searching for darkness to exorcise, it shines. And every time we speak, it glows. A polished grief.
6 years after a due, my tongue is still an empty house that echoes nothing but grief. I'm still tongue-tied, yet to write the tribute. The last time I tried, it sounded like this. My grandmother leaves the earth. I dwindle like trees, disappear into grief, reappear again, repeat. I do not know if the form of the poem was too weak to house your glory, or if this grief is yet ripe, or if this grief is still water, and there's no one to duck me into the pool when the water is troubled.
In our attempts to find closure, to compress a mountain into a molehill, we ask a lot of questions. We do not get a response, but it is better to have asked and not receive than to have never asked at all. As an alumna of grief, please answer as much questions as you can, carefully, sincerely, and correctly. 1. Where are you? Heaven, the ancestral plane, free spirit, hell, none of the above. If others, please specify. 2. Which laws hurt the most? Father, mother, children, matrimony, self. If others, please specify. 3. At what point did you learn the right amount of soil to sprinkle on a grave? Loss of second child, loss of third child, loss of fourth child, loss of fifth child. You never learn. If others, please specify. 4. Did you attend your funeral? 5. Are you at peace? 6. Where is your scapular necklace? 7. Have you met your children yet? If yes, what does reunion feel like? If no, why? 8. Do you miss life? If yes, what do you miss? 9. What advice would you give to a person currently grieving? 10. Any last words?